Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. It's been a while since I've created a video, a tutorial for everybody. Happy New Year everyone. Today I'll be showing you how to make these cute gloves. I guess fingerless gloves. um, I only used a very few colors here, and I'm sure it was shown already prior to this video. I will be posting pictures of the yarn that I used for this particular project. So after creating your tubes, you're actually just gonna make 4 tubes, um, one for each hand, and some decorative flowers. Now we started, the one that I showed you is to how to make a brim as your cuff, your wrist cuff for your glove. But there's another way to do this. You can also do a oh my god, I forgot what it's called. But this is another way. Okay, and I will make sure that I include a link down below in the description on how to create your cuff this way. I wanted to show you 2 different ways of doing it because this one, it took me a while to make this. Actually, it took me about almost an hour just creating one uh, um, wrist cuff for this glove because this takes a while to do. Whereas the brim is much easier. It might look a little different. I mean, to me, they're okay. Both of them are okay. All right, so where we left off after making the tubes, this is where we are. Okay, so after taking this tube or casting this tube off the machine, we're gonna turn it inside out, and remember where we switch colors. So you just need to make sure that you tie off the ends of those colors, that way no stitch will be dropped. And then we're just gonna cut it, trim it, I mean. Yeah, can you see this well? Let's see, right there. Okay. I'm still working on making my lighting better, so I'm sorry if this is blinding you. All right, so now we're done with that. We can now remove the waste yarn that we used. Okay. All right. It's not one of my favorite parts. I know there are ways to do this much easier. I've seen other videos of other YouTubers where they put an extra row of waste yarn to remove this waste yarn. Next time I'll do that. Okay, but if you're patient enough to do the same way I'm doing it, just do it that way. All right, so we're taking it off, pretty much just pulling it off. Make sure I don't drop any stitches there. Okay, so after pulling the waste yarn, we still have this, okay, the working yarn. So we need to just weave it through the rows or the stitches to hide it and to lock it. Okay, so I noticed that since I have started my YouTube videos or YouTube channel, that I have been giving tutorials for big projects like the long scarves, the snood, the doll, which are all good, but I realized we should do something easier this time, a smaller project like this one. Okay, so now we're done with the wrist cuff. Okay, and if you actually try it on, it would look, oopsie, that way. So it's still not so bad as compared to, oh, now I remember what it's called, the ribbed ones. So this is the brimmed one and this is the ribbed one. Okay, here, let me show you what the difference. Take my ring off here. I'm sure it's all dependent on everyone's taste. Not everyone is the same. So this one would look that way. So they're pretty much the same. Like I said, it depends on your taste. Okay. Now, not sure if I wrote this on my initial instructions, but this project would require that you know some basic crocheting. Okay. To finish off the top part of the glove. Now we're not supposed to be cinching this part, but I'm just making sure that the top part is evenly and the stitches are evenly distributed. Okay, and you'll see why later, because when we crochet this part, we want to make sure that there are no big holes in between each stitch. Okay, let me try this again. So when you do, if this is for you, if you're making this for yourself, one thing you want to do is try it on, of course, and see how it fits you. If you think this part is too tight for you, just loosen it up. Okay, just pull it out. Okay, because you will be putting crochet stitches here to make a division between your thumb and the rest of your fingers, okay, or rest of your hand. All right, so you want to have the fit comfortable. So this is perfect for me. Okay, so we're going to take that out, and then what you'll do, same thing as this one, I decided to use the can't remember the color, the Arctic colored yarns. That's what it's called. It's by Craft Smart. Okay, of course it's up to you if you want to use the same or if you want to use a different accent color. Okay, so this is where the crochet is done. The crocheting is done. So on this part right here, once you've tried it on and you're satisfied with the width of the top part, you can now lock this part by sewing it. Okay, just one part right where this ends. Okay, just one, maybe a couple of stitches to lock it. Okay, doesn't have to be major. All right. And I would use this part where you could put the hole for your thumb later on. Focus this a little bit more so you can see it better. Okay. All right, so you want to get your Arctic yarn, so we could start with the accent color or finishing on the top part of the glove. And then I used an H hook to crochet this. So what you will do is, so because it doesn't matter which spot you start from. Okay, you're just gonna get your hook through the last row. Okay, you can see it better right here. So hook it through the last row, grab the green yarn or the Arctic yarn and make a loop, or make a chain, is what they call it. Okay, it's hard trying to keep it in front of the camera and giving verbal instructions at the same time, so bear with me here. Okay, so once your you're there. Once you've done the chain, go to the next row. So you're just, if you see here, you're gonna skip one stitch and go to the next row. Okay, I'm sorry, next column, not row. Okay, you're gonna do one single crochet, and then you're gonna skip this part again. Okay, skip this stitch row, a stitch column, and go to the next one. And this time you're gonna do 2 single crochet, or what they call an increase. Okay, all right, let me pull that a little bit. Can you see that well? Okay, now we're gonna move on to the next column. You're gonna skip this column right here and go to the next one. And again, you're gonna go 1 single crochet. And then you're gonna proceed to doing the same pattern. 2 single crochet. Oopsie. 2 single crochet. 1 single crochet. Okay, can you see that? It looks ugly right now, but it'll get better when we finished it. Okay, so just follow that sequence until you reach the end, or where you started. So we're now on 2 single crochet, next column, then 1 single crochet on the next column. Okay, if you don't do the increase, it'll be too tight for you. The top part of the glove would be too tight for your hand, because I tried this many times. It was like kind of a trial and error for me, and it was bad. But this is what really worked for me. Okay, so I'm gonna finish it through the end, and I'll meet you back here. Okay. Okay, I'm back. So I did it all the way around already. Okay, don't worry about this extra yarn here. We'll fix that later. Or we'll hide that later. Okay. So after you finish the whole round, I need you to do 5 chains. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1 more. 5. Okay, that would be your, this is the loop that we're going to be using for your thumb. Okay, and then you're going to skip 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 chains, or 5 stitches, and you're going to single crochet on the 6th. Okay, just so you can join that. See, there's the loop that we created. Okay, and then you're going to continue making stitches, or making your row, but this time you're only going to do slip stitches. Okay, instead of single crochet. So we're just going to continue till we reach where we started with slip stitches. Okay, make sure you don't make it too tight when you're making your slip stitches. You want to keep it as not too loose, but not too tight at the same time. Okay, I'm going to pause this and come back once I'm done with the entire row. Okay. Okay, so now we're back to where we started, right at the base of this loop. Okay, so I want to reinforce this loop by making single crochet on each of the chain. Okay, so you're going to go through the chain and make 1 single crochet for each chain. So that's 5 single crochet. Okay, 1, 2, 3. Oh, I'm not steady, huh? I'm trying to keep my hand steady for you guys. And 5. Okay, that's 5 single crochet. So now it would look a little better, and it won't come loose easily. Okay, and then at the base, or the next stitch to the loop, you want to do another single crochet, just to make sure it's in place firmly, and then a chain, and then fasten off. Okay, all right. Okie dokie. As you can see, we have 2 remaining yarn strings here, so you want to just weave them through your stitches just to hide them, okay? Okie dokie. So let's hide this first. There we go. Lock your stitches, maybe once or a couple of times. And then just weave them through the stitches just to hide them. Okay. It's one down. You're gonna do the same thing for this, okay? Oh, so I was not able to leave a long yarn string here, so this is gonna be a little challenging, but we can manage. Okay, so we're just gonna hide it through some of these stitches. Just be a little gentle because it's short. Okie dokie. All right, that should do it. All right. Okay, so this is how it looks like after crocheting the end. So if you put it on, I think I'm going to use this for the right. You can just push your thumb through the hole the loop that you made, and there you go. There you go. Can you see that? All right. Actually, now that I'm seeing this, I'm liking the brim more than the ribbed area. The ribbed style. Okay. So now all we need to do is the accent flowers or whatever you want to put as a design on top of your cute glove. All right. So to do this, I decided instead of just making one huge flower, I'm making 2 small ones, okay? So I made these 2 tubes of the, I believe this is the soft purple yarn. You can use whatever color you prefer, of course. So each tube is 10 rows, consisting of 10 rows, okay? So to start with the first one, you're just going to cinch each end. Open up the tube to create that circle. Okay, did I do it that fast? Too fast? Let me do it again. So cinch the ends. Okay, and then turn and open up the tube. Flatten it out. Okay, so you can create that circle or round shape. And continue to cinch the ends. Then grab your needle, yarn needle. So we're just going to create the petals, okay? Most of the time I do like 5 petals. But since this is such a small flower, I think I'm just going to do 4. So what you want to do is make sure that you close each end of the tube. Sometimes just by cinching it won't do it, so you gotta saw the ends, okay? To close them. And then I normally go through the centers. And then just use the 2 remaining yarn strings. Tie them up together. Some of you are pros to this already, I'm sure. Okay. Make another knot here. Okay, and then we're going to use this remaining yarn strings to create your petal. So you're just going to divide it into 4 areas. So if your yarn string is on the top of the tube, you want to align your yarn string where you want the indentation for the petal. So if you want to do it here, flatten that out, move your yarn needle through the center from the bottom, pull through the needle and the yarn, and then cinch. So that's your first indentation right there. Okay, can you see that? Okay, now we move on to the next indentation. Same thing. Position your yarn string where you want that indentation. Get your needle through the center from the bottom. And pull your yarn string. Now we have 1 petal. Okay. So continue doing that until you've created 4 petals, okay? Doesn't have to be very even. I'm just gonna loosen that up a little bit. There you go. Okay, and then we need 1 more to make that 3rd and 4th petal. 1 more indentation there, or separation. There you go. So we got our 4 petals, okay? And then we're gonna lock our stitches again. This is why I don't take off the I don't hide the other yarn string right away, because I use it to tie off my working yarn string. Okay, so now what we can do, you can choose which side you want to use, either this side or this side. Well, both sides looks good. Then you want to hide your yarn string. I still want to leave 1 uncut from the flower, because we're going to use it to sew it to the glove. Sew the flower to the glove, okay? And then let's hide this 1 other yarn string to lessen our load here. Okay, so that's our little flower. Okay, oops, right there. So you're gonna do the same thing to the other one with the other tube. All right, I also did a little bit of embroidery to the center of the petal using a white yarn. You can do the same, and I think I'm gonna do the same here. There's no particular way of doing that. You just want to create a little embroidered dot at the center. Okay. So I'll come back when both flowers are done. Okay. All right, I'm back. So I just finished these 2 flowers. I added those little what do you call those? Center embroidery with a white yarn. Again, there's no particular way of doing that. Now, if you notice with this one, I added a little bit more of white yarn accent on the borders of the flower. And the only reason why I did that is because it was so big, that it was so bulky. So to make it flatten a little bit, I did that. I did the blanket stitch around the borders of the flower. But since we're doing small ones here, I decided not to do it. I think it's cute the way it is already. Okay. And before you attach these 2 flowers, of course, you can do it however ways you want it. This way, that way. But I think I want it slanted like this. Okay. But before you attach that, you want to put on your glove, because you want to make sure that when you're wearing it, it looks right. Okay, so let's see here. Oops. If you want to attach it slanted like I want it, make the focus this a little bit. Okay, so you can do it this way. Okay, or there are other options. Like I said, you can do it whatever way you want. I'm trying to make this as even as possible. All right, so I want it that way. Okay, so what you want to do, I wish I have an assistant to to hold this for me, but I don't. So I'm gonna try to just attach it with a needle or a pin without poking myself. These are plastic needles, by the way, so I'm not too scared to do that. Don't hurt yourself, okay? All right. Doesn't have to be in the exact spot where you want it, but you just want to just put like a mark just to give you an idea. All right. So I'm going to take it off. Hopefully it works. Okie dokie. So now I can attach it better. I'm sure it moved a little bit from where I wanted it to be. Not gonna kill me. Okay. Alrighty. Now you don't want it to be too flatly attached to the glove, because you want it to be sort of 3D on your glove. Okay. So with the same yarn you use for the flower, you're just gonna sew it underneath the flower and through the glove. What do you call this? Blind stitch, I think. So you're using a stitch, a hidden stitch, to attach your flowers to the glove. Oopsie. Okay. We're almost done here. It's really simple. What was hard for me is making this video. And I've seen other gloves that would go all the way through the length of your forearm, or sometimes even beyond your elbow. But of course, it's up to you if you want it longer or this short. You can also make mittens if you want, so your fingers are covered. I think this is more of like a spring type of glove. I know it's kind of early for spring, right? But better to be ready on time. Okay, so we're done with one. If you want to continue just using the same yarn and yarn needle, you can do that, as long as it's not shown in front. And like I said, it doesn't have to be too flat. Doesn't have to be too firmly attached, okay? Because you want it to look like it's still 3D and not 2D. That's the best way I could explain it. Okay. Oh, Now, if you need to wash these gloves, just follow the instructions on the type of yarn you used, okay? Of course, it always has to be gentle. Sometimes people just hand wash them, okay? All right, so I'm just gonna lock my stitches from the inside interior part. So as you can see, it's not showing a lot. I mean, there's still parts of the purple yarn that you can see underneath, but it's not too obvious. It's gonna make you uncomfortable, you know, when you're wearing the glove. And the last part is to hide your stitch. All right. I mean, not stitch. Hide your yarn strings, your remaining yarn strings. This one we can just cut because that one's already tied in. And there you go. Cute as can be. Let me put it on. Both of them. Just to compare. Oh, see, that's cute. There are other things you can put on here. Like maybe you can embroider like vines or like stems or yarn or leaves from in between these two flowers. But I think this is cute enough already. I know they're not matching, but I just want to give you options on what you can do, right? They're still matching colors. I could still wear them at the same time. Well, I'm glad you liked this video. If you have any questions, just put it down in the comment section, or you know where to reach me on my Facebook and TikTok at Nimblewit Creations. You can find me there. I also have an Etsy account. Same thing at Nimblewit Creations. It's been a while since I posted a new one on Etsy, but on my next video, I'm going to try to create written instructions of every video I show on YouTube, because some people request that I do that. So I hope that helps. All right, there will be more videos coming soon. To all those people who haven't subscribed, please subscribe, hit the like button. You know the drill. I'm sure people are tired of hearing that statement already. I am. But it helps. It helps a lot to know that people are interested in what you do. Okay? I hope you like this video. I hope you like what I made today. Continue crafting, enjoy crafting, and Happy New Year. Thank you.